Hello everybody and welcome back to Magna Carta 2. Last video we made it to Old Fox Canyon and we were heading towards the Gate of Wailing. Capturing it is our main objective for our mission. Let's read a little bit of cube mail before we continue on. We got some mail from Raoud about the enemy camp. This is on the other side of the Gate of Wailing. So he's just given us some directions as to what to do when we get there. Easy enough. Just destroy all the soldiers, essentially. So once you've done your grinding, you want to go ahead and kill the soldiers standing in front of the gate before you make your way there. As you can see, I have switched back to my regular weapons, because it's taking me a lot longer to kill the enemies. They're not tough, but of course when you only do 50 damage, the going is a little bit slow. I grinded up to level 15, and I'm at a good position where I should level up with our boss battle coming up. However, when you start to level, the experience you get from enemies lessens. So, although I did do a lot of grinding, the experience I was getting started to become less and less. So if you want to take a look at my current stats, everyone should be closing in on level 16 soon, especially Crocell. Like I said, put everyone's weapons back to their defaults, and I also went ahead and finished up my skill trees for the moment, spent all my skill points, and with all that done, I think I am ready to go. So this is the big bad Gate of Wailing that the soldiers have been having difficulties capturing. And once you get here, you'll get cube mail on how to defeat it. So this is actually a very nice bit of mail because it'll teach you the attack pattern. First you'll get archers firing from the gate, so you'll have arrows raining down on you. Spears will thrust from holes inside the gate, and small bombs will be then thrown from overhead. So remember that pattern. The second thing to remember is that when the bombs come down, you have to use Juto to kick the bombs at the gate to collapse the barrier. Then you'll be able to attack the wall and do major damage. So, the game pretty much tells you exactly what to do, which is pretty nice if you can't figure it out. So using Judo, you want to make sure you're not in combat mode, and what you want to do is start kicking bombs towards the wall. A couple will disarm the barrier, but it might also not be a bad idea to kick a few bombs at the wall afterwards if you can afford to do so before they explode, because it does a significant amount of damage to the wall. So afterwards, we're going to have to look out for the spears and the archers as well. They'll rain down arrows, so you need to make sure not to get caught. As you can see, Zephy got caught in that attack there. So run around avoiding the arrows. And you also want to look out for bombs. It's kind of confusing because the area for the bombs is going to be the same as the area for the arrows. So it can be kind of difficult to try and kick bombs at the wall when you're also being bombarded by arrows. But just keep an eye out and do the best that you can with what you're given. This is more of a slow battle than a difficult one. It can take quite some time to whittle down the HP of the Gate of Wailing, just because it is such a large structure. But the attacks that are done in between really aren't that devastating. Like, the arrows don't do a lot of damage, and the spears are really easy to avoid. And again, I like to use Judo, Zephy, and Crocell. Crocell is going to be able to get a lot of fire con in this area, so it is a good idea to use him if you do want to utilize some of his fire abilities. And that's all there really is to this battle. Sometimes you can make the bombs appear faster if you go close to the wall and let the spears come out, I find. Because it goes in somewhat of a pattern. So if you play with the pattern a little bit, sometimes you can manipulate it a little bit easier.
Alright.
As for other strategies, I don't really think I have any. It was pretty clear in the cube mail what it is we were supposed to do. And of course you have a lot of healing items at your disposal as well, and if you are using Zephyr, you should be able to heal. And because this is our first major boss, it is going to take some time. Although not a terrible first boss battle, I have seen worse. I have seen much more difficult. And then of course remember that you can only kick using Juto. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but Rao did when he sent us the cube mail. Only Juto is able to kick, and you can't be in combat mode when you do that. I'll try and do a combo here if I can. That might help a little bit. There we go. Excellent. A couple more hits and the wall should go down. And I have to switch back to Judo so I can kick the bombs at the wall. If you stand back here, you're also safe. The archers won't go this far, so if you do need a minute to adjust your strategy or to heal or whatever, that would be a good place to do it. So just keep that in mind. Although once you are in the battle, you're stuck. You'll have that barrier behind you. So once you're here, make sure that you don't die. But they do give you that pillar just outside the battle, if you do need to use that, which I do recommend. One last chain and we should be all good to go.
This is nothing. Having to have met me means that your luck is run out.
Okay. Whew. Took a little bit of time, but we did it. We have now breached the Gate of Wailing, and if you're not comfortable with moving forward and defeating more of the Northern Forces soldiers, what you can do is go back to the pillar, save, regain your energy, and then advance on forward if you'd like.
My sword will work well.
Once you get to the North Garrison, you're going to be running into some new enemies, the Gauntlet Boars, and we're also going to be seeing some werewolves again. So we're going to have a bit more of a variety here. And all we need to do is just defeat more enemies while we make our way towards the general, Seon Regr, who is a general, I guess, that they've also been having a lot of trouble defeating because he has been hiding behind the Gate of Wailing for so long. Now in this area there are going to be a couple of chests to collect, so you might want to keep your eyes peeled as you move on through this area. And there is going to be another pillar available, but it won't be available until we have fought our next boss. So just keep that in mind.
This is just a scratch.
So there should be a chest over here by the first big structure. I don't really know what that is. I guess it's a tent, but it is a very, very elaborate looking tent if you ask me. The Northern Forces sure have a nice little setup going on here, if I do say so myself. And I guess that's why the Southern Forces have been having so much trouble. They've constantly been getting killed and been having to retreat, while these guys have had a lot of time to really settle in here nicely.
Too slow. I can see what you're doing.
Okay, so there should be a chest over here as well. For a hottie hot, I do believe you can use those to cure fever, I want to say. Yeah, fever and burn immunity. So if you have a couple of those and you don't happen to equip your Earring of Red Sparrow and you catch the fever ailment, that might also be useful. As you get closer to Seon Regr, you'll get another piece of cube mail delivered, so we should read that once we're done defeating this little group of enemies here. Since they really expect you to go full force, not only taking out the Gate of Wailing, but then also coming right in and storming through the gate and defeating Seon Regr.
Yes, I avoided the attack.
Like I said, a lot of responsibility for 4 people, but I guess when you lead a squad led by the princess, it's kind of a big deal. So here's the mail. The enemy leader Seon Regr uses Wind Con. He usually has Ignis wizards with him who make con to support him. When the enemy wizards generate Wind Con and immediately use skills that consume con, Seon Regr will not be able to attack with Wind Con anymore. Then your attack would be the best defense. So attack him while his con is gone, essentially. Alright, so this isn't a tough battle. He's a human, but he does use con, so you have to watch out for close range as well as long range attacks, and you have to look out for the status effects that the wind wizards can inflict upon you. So it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to take out the wizards first or Seon Regr, you have to kill both the wizards and Seon Regr himself for the battle to be over. So I like to try and kill the wizards first, just to kind of get them out of the way, and then I have my party focus their attention on the general, so we can take him down faster. You also get experience for killing the wizards, so in the progress you may be able to level up. So now I'm not able to use any of my abilities when I have that big X over my head. It's kind of like a seal. So that's kind of a shame. That's one of the status effects that he can inflict upon you when he does his strong attack. He will do that when he has generated enough con. But other than that, he's not terribly dangerous. If you are using items wisely, or you do have Zephy in your party to heal, he will most likely not be able to damage you quickly enough to kill you if you are healing. So let's try a chain attack here, and let's take him down quickly.
Big man, can't do anything without me, huh? Right, I'll show you the difference in our level of power.
Hey, what's up?
The temporary garrison and enemy pillar are now under our control. Based on our thorough examination of the Northern Forces pillar, they have been ordered to retreat from the canyon. The Gate of Wailing has been breached, and their morale appears to be suffering as well. With the enemy in retreat, fighting them should be easy. Go on ahead. We will follow after you soon.
Yeah, I guess we got one more fight left in us.
Alright, that is excellent. This is very good news for the Southern Forces. If we had failed this battle, it really would have been terrible news for our soldiers, because we're losing the war so badly, but luckily we were able to really regain a large part of what the Northern Forces had taken over. At this point, you can see that we only have a couple of areas left. Our next objective is going to be to head towards the Northern Forces outpost, we still have some soldiers to clear out of the area. They have been ordered to retreat, but we need to drive them away completely, so we'll probably do that next time. This pillar becomes available after you defeat Seon Regr, and I do recommend saving at it before we continue on. So I'm going to do that now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.